Hey guys, and welcome to an absolutely insane game of Total War. I'm a Rubber Duck of War, and today I shall be leading the glorious forces of Khorne, allied to a random Grand Cathay player. This was in a custom lobby that I just hopped into, and yeah, we had to make friends quickly and go to war. We're going to be taking on some Chaos Demons as well as Slaanesh forces. Should be a good fun showdown. It is an incredibly close and hotly contested game, and boy oh boy do we have to put in an absolute shift. So for my ally, it looks like I got a nice bit of artillery. We have some fire rain rockets and the grand cannons in the back. I don't mind this, but I'm not sure if my player was either particularly experienced or experienced with this map, because it's very hard to make artillery work unless you get them up on this high ground and protect them, which of course is a little bit rough to do up against Furies. He's also got a load of halberds and a load of mixture of crossbowmen and peasants for his main force, and a dragon-blooded lord. For myself, I have some Chaos Warriors of Khorne halberds. I've got Hellforged Host and dual weapons in my main battalion and battle line, some Furies up in the skies, and Skarbrand the Exiled, of course, looking to bring the pain. As for our opponents, they have a mixture of Nurglings and Marauders of Slaanesh, Pink Horrors, and a load of just different disgusting creatures from the foul deeps of the Chaos Wastes. So we have a nasty Hero Lord for Tzeentch up in the skies, alongside the Prince of Fury himself. And pushing the right-hand flank is a combination of Nurglings, Marauders of Slaanesh, Nakari, as well as some Heartseekers. So going to be a pretty brutal fight for sure. Really excited to delve into this one with you guys. It was such a good fun one to play. And my ally was awesome. He was a real badass as well. I enjoyed playing alongside him. So we'll have to see how he performs. I do think he was a bit of a newer player because he made some pretty suspect maneuvers, but at the same time was doing some fantastic work to help carry me at different points in the battle. So we'll have to see how it does unfold. Now, the annoying little horror on top of his little flying disc going to be popping some shots in at our dual weapons. Nothing too crazy yet. I will be meeting a mixed force in the middle, basically alone at the moment, but I do have the majority of my army here. Skarbrand's going to be rotating around a little bit to try to fire down the ranks of the enemy infantry. This is definitely what you want to do with Skarbrand, and look at that damage. It's so nice. It's half health off a unit of Marauders from the rip, up to 44 kills. Unfortunately, my opponent's ally is coming in with some Heartseekers as well as Nakari, so I do pull back a little bit here as my main forces do engage in hand-to-hand combat, looking to delve in and just cut Slaaneshi warriors to pieces, as well as the Nurglings Hellforged Host are doing some decent damage. Unfortunately, there's a load of cover fire come in from the Pink Horrors. We do have Furies pushing back there, though, desperately trying to get to grips with the enemy. Skarbrand is going toe-to-toe with Nakari. I'm trying to enrage as many forces around us where physically possible, and is a flustercluck of madness in the center right now. We do have some glorious bloodletters being summoned also to try and push the Pink Horrors and at least distract them from this main infantry fight. It looks like, unfortunately, some crossbowmen are being shut down by some rather lovely Chaos Furies summoned there. We do have the artillery in the back trying to roll into position, really struggling to find a home to shoot. And it looks like we are starting to lose objective 3. My ally moving some units back around to the middle to help support in that main fight. And that is going to make us basically go up objective 3 here. We've got a couple of halberds here and a couple of Jade Warriors and so on. But at the moment, we're really struggling to get to grips with our opponent. It looks like we are going to see an Ancestral Warrior summon, which is pretty badass, to help contest the middle, as well as protect these peasant archers who are raining in some pretty decent shots. There is going to be a nasty bit of magic. Is this slicing shards coming down? What is this madness? It is a portal from the deep opening up, and boom, the glass going to come shattering down. Devastating damage. Oh my god. So much work there, and a horde of Fury is going to be floating over to shut down our allied archer units. Skarbrand is all that's left, really, of my initial push here, in the middle at least, as he takes on Nakari in glorious toe-to-toe combat. And yeah, I don't care how much you're going to cycle charge me, how badass you think you are, Skarbrand is going to slap you up. And it looks like Nakari is learning that fact with a load of flesh hounds being summoned onto the battlefield, as we try once again push into this Pink Horror back line where possible. Jade Warriors are doing a fantastic job helping us out there, and the back line is a bit of a mess though, unfortunately, for our ally. Peasant archers getting dragged down by Chaos Furies. There are some Ancestral Warriors on approach, and I believe I do move some of my Flesh Hounds to go support them and try and get them out of a sticky situation. Percol Sentinel has been summoned from the deep, moving forward to once again stand against the foes of Grand Cathay in the middle. But look how many forces there are against us. It's really scary stuff. Objective 1's not been held by anyone at the moment. Objective 2 is mine and my allies. Objective 3 is being contested, but is currently in the hands of our allies. Looks like the Grand Cannon crew was forced off here, unfortunately. Fire Rain Rocket, though, starting to get into a relatively decent position. Jade Lancers are pinned in place by Narcissism. Got some halberds as well. Need to start moving towards this main point because it's really, really brutal stuff at the moment. Luckily, the Drownblade Lord has taken over command of this frontline fight, whereas Skarbrand has kind of skirted away a little bit. The Cultist of Khorne is fighting in the front. We also have a lovely summon of the Ancestral Warriors. We've got to shut down Blood Shrines and the Prince of Fury himself. The pink horrors are continuously pouring on fire, which is really scary stuff. Now, Skarbrand pulled back, and I realized, hey, we're going to be in a bit of a tricky situation because our opponents are capping Objective 1. So what I'm going to do is move Skarbrand over to Objective 3 to try to support and contest that objective where possible. We also have some Bloodletters of Khorne on hot arrival, kind of giving stewardship of this middle objective to my ally where possible. We've got Jade Warriors in here, as well as a load of crossbowmen. And it looks like the Fire Rain Rockets are finally in position to start shooting. I don't think they've used like any ammunition all day so far. Maybe one volley. But now the Fire Rain Rockets are going to be unleashing hell on that pink horror blob. And this is fantastic news for us. A beautiful 2-for-1 punch by our ally. Talons coming down, plus the Fire Rain Rockets, as well as the Terracotta Sentinel shutting down these units. The pink horrors in an absolute disarray in the back. Gives us a bit of breathing space in the middle because our opponents have so many forces here. They really could push on to Objective 2 quite nastily. It looks like a Grand Cannon crew is just Leroy Jenkins in it up towards the objective. I don't know what they're really doing. I don't think they know either. But they're charging into some enemy cavalry. You brave, brave fools. I love you. And they're going to get ripped to shreds. We have some dual weapons on approach, though, and a load of units as well from me and my ally have just finished off some enemy screamers and come back into the main fight. Unfortunately, the Fire Rain Rocket's going to be going down. Short life for the Fire Rain Rocket, but it did some amazing work. Objective 3 still is yet to be ours. We are starting to drag down our opponents in droves, though. Bloodletters have arrived. Skarbrand is just slapping up enemy infantry left, right, and center. He's put this game in a backpack and slung it over his shoulders so far. He's really been carrying quite hard for me. 183 kills, over 3,000 value already. And despite the fact he's injured, I just can't afford to take him off the battlefield. He's been that impactful so far. We do get some dual weapons being summoned in, and it looks like the Fire Rain Rocket is going to be going down. We've got a nice little push going towards Objective 1. Dual weapons clawing at blood crushers over here. Flesh Hounds are bounding left and right. I'm actually trying to fall back with some Flesh Hounds. They can maneuver them round onto the objective. And it's a pretty brutal fight here in the pits. Blood, fire, and death. Sounds like a Targaryen wet dream. And Khorne doing some decent damage down here. We also have the Peasant Archers unleashing hell with some nice long-range shots. A beautiful air of effect comes in, though. Oh, that is devastating. So much damage there to the Jade Warriors. Luckily, our Chaos dual weapons were able to escape, but the Fire Rain Rocket has been shut down. And pretty nasty damage across the board. Peasant Archers are being roasted there a little bit. I'm starting to put a bit more pressure, though, on this middle objective, as well as Objective 3, which our ally is doing a fantastic job here. We have the double halberds. In fact, one of them is Celestial Dragon God, moving over and trying to force path onto this objective. It is imperative we capture this, and we capture this quickly. Skarbrand doesn't care if you're a friend or foe. He's just going to burn all of you to the ground. You can see the Dragon Guard, unfortunately, suffering from his wrath. But hey, he's got 200 kills. We can't complain too much. And with all these extra reinforcements coming in from our ally, we are going to start capping Objective 3 here. We're considerably behind on tickets, though. 2,000 tickets to 990 is not a good showing from us so far. And our allies have pushed on, captured Objective 2, which we held for so long. Now, Terracotta Sentinels still standing firm. We have some dual weapons or some basic units, it looks like, actually trying to push onwards. But apart from that, our opponents have really pushed us back. The Prince of Fury is getting his arse lit on fire by some peasant archers, though, who are doing a decent job. It looks like we also have a Talons once again. Dragons from eons past are reaching up from the depths of their slumber to claw and smack these pesky marauders around. It looks like the Fury is not having a good day either at the moment. Unfortunately, in the back, looks like the Fire Rain Rockets were shut down again, likewise were a load of halberds and archers. We do have a load of Flesh Hounds, though, and they're starting to push really aggressively alongside some dual weapons, as well as Jade Lancers to make a load of pressure and a desperate push onto Objective 1. You can see the Flesh Hounds are force pathing their way up to this objective. I really want to start capping it as quickly as possible here, because otherwise, you know, our opponent's going to simply be too far ahead. We're currently triple capped, and they have 3,000 tickets to our 990. It is looking very, very bleak, but there are little patches of sunshine and hope. Objective 3 has now been claimed by us. Hellstriders are in terrible engagements against Halberdiers. And with the Celestial Giant Guard here, I'm pretty confident my ally can hold this objective. So Skarbrand is going to be trotting himself back towards the middle objective. We also have a load of Jade Warriors and Crossbowmen moving around to this flank. They can apply pressure to Objective 3 or to Objective 2. And we are going to need a triple cap at some point during this battle. So we have a glorious fight. It looks like the Dragon-Blooded Lord is going toe-to-toe with the Prince of Fury. Fight me, demon, you shall bite my blades. Although it looks like we actually have a bit of magic being chucked there. I don't think this is a fight that's going to go too well, unfortunately, for the Dragon-Blooded Lord. But it is my allies. I do need to try and come over and save him if at all possible. I think Skarbrand's a bit busy at the moment, though, on objective 3. But if we can't help you and save you, we can certainly avenge you later on, perhaps. We have some Flesh Hounds who are on the battlefield, and it looks like actually their presence was enough to save the Dragon-Blooded Lord and force our opponent's hand, so they had to fall back a little bit. We do cap objective 1. We have 2 units of dual weapons here. Well, I say 2 units of dual weapons. We have a unit of dual weapons and this haggard bunch of fellows. We've also got Flesh Hounds over here, so I'm pretty confident in holding this objective. I'm going to start relocating a lot of these forces back round to objective 2 because I realise we need a triple cap at the moment. Terracotta Sentinel is fighting hard. Likewise is our opponents, though. We've got pink horrors on here. We have a rather nasty looking Blood Shrine. It looks like we're going to get a bigger beam attack come down on some of these Marauders. And that's going to be some nasty stuff. Oh, that's me! Oh, hell yeah! I came with a Sword of Cain. I completely forgot about that. Doing some decent damage, clearing off enemy infantry in an attempt here to start claiming the middle objective. My allies seem to realise this. The Talons coming in and pulling apart pink horrors left, right, and centre. We've also got the arrival of some Jade Warriors as well as crossbowmen moving over towards the central objective. But our opponents are doing a big push towards objective 3. I don't know which way to go to Skarbrand. I'm like, do I stand and hold? Do I move over towards the middle? It was a real tough decision-making time, and the Jade Warriors are moving up. Beautiful play by my ally here, moving off the objective to keep the enemy at bay and as far away as physically possible. It's a lovely play there, and Skarbrand is going to come back to join the party. He simply couldn't stay away from the slaughter. Massive axes in the ground, looking to punt some Nurglings left, right, and centre, doing big damage and holding the fort down. We do now have the dreaded triple cap. Objective 1 is barely being held. There's a bit of pressure. It's relatively safe, I would say. There's 1 unit pink horrors. We have enough troops there. The middle is hotly contested, as is objective 3. And it looks like the big demon who stalks these realms is floating over to try to once and for all end the reign of Skarbrand. And Skarbrand accepts this challenge, beating his axes to his chest. He forces opponent into a rampage, and Leroy Jenkins forward slashing, hacking, burning, doing all in his power. And look at this prince bowing before the true terror of the night. Skarbrand took down 2 greater demons today, Nakari as well as Daniel here, as simply the dirt on his hooves. And with that, we are in the ascendancy. All 3 objectives are currently being held. Middle objective is secure. We have a load of troops here. Halberds, Hellforge hosts are being re-summoned, and their axes are carving into the Hellstriders right now. I should say their 2-handed blades doing some massive damage, and our opponents simply cannot grind through us fast enough. We also have some lovely support from the crossbowmen. It looks like, unfortunately, they're about to be jumped by blood crushers. I believe we do pull back in an attempt to save our ally, but, you know, we've got to let the blood flow. So if a few Cathay forces die, it's not the end of the world. This objective is well and truly secure. We may have a few haggard units here, but we've also got the relatively healthy dual weapons and flesh hounds. I'm leaving them to babysit and basically be a big kind of pushing off factor. I don't want my opponents to think they can take this easily, to make it a little bit daunting for them. It looks like the Hellforge host and the Halberdiers are running to save their allies. At least now that the Dragon-Blooded Lord's here, they're like, well, we better show and make a good show of stuff here. Well, looks like there's a load of like little crates and resources around here on this objective. That's kind of a cool little touch. I really do wish that all these like strategic points had like temples on them, or a load of like camps and stuff to show why you're fighting over them. Perhaps that's something that could happen in the future. Blood Crushers are currently rampaging and freaking the hell out. Hellforge hosts are up to 170 kills here, which is really nice. We're coming through the enemy rather comfortably. We even have Miters of Khorne starting to move towards the center, but that objective's looking pretty tasty. Let's have a little check-in on objective 3. Still hotly contested stuff. Our allies' forces have just broken in all directions. Big air effect spells not doing him any favors. Skarbrand still fighting on. Really low HP right now. 700 HP, nearly 300 kills though, has been enough to drive back the enemy hordes on this flank and hold objective 3 just about. Middle objective is still being hotly contested. Objective 1 is well and truly ours at the moment. And with that triple cap, we were so far behind. I love this. We came back here. I love games of domination like this. They're hotly contested. All the objectives have been switching hands, but it looks like we're going to be victorious. I don't think there's any way back for our opponents here. 4,000 tickets for them, but nearly 5,000 for us. We are going to hold on all sides. There's a big push coming in the middle, but it's a little bit too little too late, particularly the Minotaurs in the mix. Somehow got in 50 kills in their short lifespan here, and Skarbrand shall live to fight and slaughter another day. Very well played to my ally as well as my opponents. It was a really good fun game, and I think my ally did really well, considering I think he was a bit of a newer player, but I thought he really grew into the game and performed quite fantastically, and our opponents were in the lobby for a long time whilst we were waiting for this ally of mine to turn up. They probably knew each other, and maybe we're even in a group chat or something. I can't say that for certain, obviously, so I think after a rough start of losing a few troops, he came back really strong and helped massively, so big shout out to him. I can't remember names, unfortunately, and it doesn't show them in the replay, which is a little bit sad, but I think he did a fantastic job. And again, our opponents pushed us all the way. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's really good fun to cast some 2v2s and stuff as well. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these and free-for-alls and 3v3s and all that good stuff up on the channel. Skarbrand played this game in a backpack, was fighting consistently throughout the course of the entire battle in over 4,000 value, 300 kills, was an absolute world beater. What a Chad. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to leave a big, fat, juicy thumbs up, as well as subscribing to the channel for more content into the future. If you do enjoy this kind of stuff as well, yeah, let me know in the comments. It really is appreciated. You can like, subscribe, all that. Or, you know, the standard YouTube stuff. There's a load of links down below as well to my Twitch, to my Patreon, to my Discord. Twitch is where I occasionally do extra streams. I haven't been doing many recently. I've been pretty much predominantly focused on YouTube. But I'll definitely get back to it at some point when I'm able to do more long streams in general. And Discord's where you can support the channel by sending in replays, get involved in live streams, tournaments and events. I'm getting back to doing tournaments now, which I know a lot of people are very excited for. And on Patreon is where you can support the channel to financially and help me keep the channel going, because it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of enjoyment at the same time. And my main favourite thing as well is just seeing the enjoyment people get from me, casting these games and so on. Oh my god, look at this horror. 4,000 value of 222 kills. That is some gnarly stuff indeed. But once again, guys, hope you enjoyed. And until next time, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.